Hello and welcome or welcome back to Yarn Tea and Books. My name is Tasha, and along with my husband, we are the humans behind Frogget Yarn's hand-dyed yarns and Mobile Yarn Truck. Welcome if you are a new viewer. We're so happy you're here. And welcome back if you're a returning viewer. We're so happy that you choose to come back every week. Sorry guys. Yeah, it's been a week. We'll get into it. This week is a little bit vloggy mixed in with the podcast. So I took a few clips this past week of certain things that I wanted to share with you. So I'll just be inserting them here and there as we go along, as they relate to topics. It has been a stressful time since we talked last. I'll update you in life news. So if you want to find out what's going on there, just stick around for life news. But this week we will have a half finished object, plus a finished object that I have to show you a video for. We'll have some pretty good WIP progress updates. There's a bit of shop news. There's book chat as always. And like I said, there's some life updates that I'll share in the life news section. So settle in, grab your favorite mug and your favorite cozy beverage, and let's get into it. Because as always, we start with mug watch. And you guys, I have a new mug. When this is from a new to me potter. When this came across my feed, I gasped. The gasp that I gasped was large, because the instant I saw this mug, I thought of Scotland. So there were so many pictures that I took. Now, not at night, with mountains and like the locks. Oh, just so gorgeous. Can you see that? Oh, it's stunning. This is by Sam Mo Pottery. I will link them below. And if I can find the picture from our trip that like instantly triggered me, this, I will pop it on the screen, because when I saw this, I was like, oh, Scotland. So that's my new mug, Sam Mo Pottery. I'm drinking my regular chai blend from Adagio. I actually wanted to make a Scottish breakfast, but when I filled up the tea strainer, I just instantly reached for my regular blend. So that's on me. So that's Sam Mo Pottery. The work is stunning. It's just stunning. I just can't stop staring at it. It's just so beautiful. I'm so happy to have that. Okay, so that's Mugwatch. I want to insert here. I had a question or a comment last week. I think it was a question. Someone asking, where do I get all of my T-shirts and my knitting jewelry? So I thought I would share that before we move into the bulk of the podcast. So my knitting jewelry, so I have a couple of pairs of like knitting themed earrings. These are stockinette stitch. I think I have some that are garter. I think I have some that are mixed. These are from Birdie Parker Designs, as well as my necklaces that say yarn and knit. They are also from Birdie Parker Designs. My T-shirts, the knitting ones, so this is a little knitting sheep. All of my knitting ones are from yarnmerch.com. I will link them below. I will link Birdie Parker below. And my book tees that I wear some weeks are from Piper and Ivy. And I will also link them below. So I hope that helps. I also have some cool knitting jewelry. This is a needle gauge ring that is accurate. And let me tell you, I use this more than I ever thought I would. This is from Malohos. I'll link it below. That's from Malohos. I have a stockinette band. That's also from Birdie Parker. And then I have a stockinette stitch bigger ring. This is from Porter Ness Studios. So I hope that answered all your questions about my jewelry. I love finding things that are functional but still show my love of the craft. So I just thought I'd pop that in there so that you can go and shop too and find cool new things. All right, let's get into the bulk of the podcast. That will take us to FOs. For FOs, I finished one of my socks. This is the full-size skein from my 2025 A Homespun House Advent. I think it's called Scrooged or Scrooge. It was all Christmas movie titles, but it's just a fun, like, speckle, honestly. I don't see anything Christmassy about it. So I finished one sock. I do have to cast on the other. I have not cast on the other yet. Yeah. But this one is done. It fits great. I did not do any kind of contrast. I don't have very many socks at all that are all one color. I usually throw in a contrast heel and toe at the very least. So, yeah. So that's my finished object. The other finished object that I have is actually food. So my word for this year, for 2026, was or is explore. And for me, that just means exploring new things. I wanted to try sourdough. I want to pull out the like 3 needle felting kits that I bought that I've never done. I wanted to explore new things with the business, which is how the quarterly book boxes came about. But I did start my sourdough journey, and I figured if my daughter can do it, she's been doing this for, I think, close to 2 years now. I sure as heck should be able to do this. So bought a kit with the like starter and the, the starter and the tools and all of the fun stuff. And my daughter loaned me one of her Dutch ovens because she has 3 and I didn't have any, and mine is still shipping. And yesterday was baking day, so I did not realize that when you're ready to bake the bread, you actually cannot bake the bread until the following day. Like when you're ready to make the dough, it's a whole day's worth of work. I was unaware of this. So I called my daughter and I was like, is this right? Because I'm following the little book that came with my kit. And she says, yeah, Mom, you feed him in the morning. She said, I usually feed mine in the morning when I wake up. And around lunchtime, it's nice and bubbly. So I mix up my dough. And she said, you know, it's a couple of different things, but the stretching and the folding. She said, and usually before bed, I've made the loaves. I've put them in the Banneton, the special bowls. She said, and then they go in the fridge overnight. She said, so it's a whole day, but it's not like, doesn't consume your whole day. I was like, okay. So I did all the things, and I ended up having to make 2 loaves because my sourdough starter, when I fed him Tuesday morning, he had a cloth cover over the jar. And when I came up from the dye studio, I fed him first thing in the morning, went down to the dye studio, worked, came up at lunchtime, and he had like bulged out the fabric covering. So he had overachieved big time. So I had to mix up 2 loaves because when I took out the starter for the first batch, there was still so much starter left. So I mixed up 2 loaves. I named my sourdough starter Frodo Baguettes because I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. And my daughter took the best one. Before she was married, she named hers Edgar Allan Doe instead of Edgar Allan Poe. So I couldn't take that one. So I named mine Frodo baguettes. So pretty cute. Anyway, I will pop in the clips of my sourdough journey here. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. I just thought I'd throw this into the podcast, but I am baking my first 2 loaves of sourdough today. The first one is in the oven. The second one is in the fridge because when I fed Frodo, I've named him Frodo Baguettes instead of Frodo Baggins. When I fed him yesterday to prep for all of this, he overflowed the jar. So my daughter, who has been making sourdough for well over a year, maybe 2 now, said, "Mom, just make 2 loaves." Now, it's only Brian and I here in this house. Y'all, we can't eat 2 loaves of bread. I mean, we can, but we shouldn't. So I don't know what I'm going to do with the second loaf, but we'll see. I may have to hoard it. So wish me luck. I will share pictures. It's on its last, 2 minutes, the first loaf. So fingers crossed that it comes out well. I've never done this before, but if my daughter can do it, I sure as heck should be able to do it. So I'll update you. Okay, Mr. Froggett kind of ruined it because the first loaf that I took out, he literally left it sit for 20 minutes before he cut into it, but they're both done. The second one that I had is kind of an oval. I baked it in a round Dutch oven because my oval Dutch oven is not here yet. But like I said, I had too much starter, so I had to make 2 loaves, which is fine. We're gonna have grilled cheese sandwiches and soup tonight because bread. So let me turn you around and show you what they look like. Ta-da! Aren't they so good? So Mr. Frogga has already cut into this one. This was the round one. And this is my wonky oval one. Oh, my house smells so good. So I may actually cut myself a piece and put some Nutella on it and have a cup of tea because my house smells amazing. Smells amazing with all the fresh bread in it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna make a cup of tea. I got a new mug in the mail, which you will have seen for Mugwatch. Yeah, so I think it might be a cup of tea and a nice fresh slice of bread. All right, thanks for coming on this journey with me. Okay, fun, right? It was delicious. We did, in fact, have grilled cheese sandwiches for dinner last night, and excuse me. If you have not had sourdough grilled cheese sandwiches, they are the best. They are absolutely the best grilled cheese sandwiches. We've done it a few times with sourdough loaves that our daughter has given us. Our neighbor up behind us actually makes sourdough every once in a while, and she always gifts us a loaf when she's made it. And we almost always use it immediately for grilled cheese sandwiches. It is absolutely the best grilled cheese sandwich you'll ever eat. So that's my sourdough journey. Dinner was delicious, and we still have, I don't know, maybe all together, because we use the center for the sandwiches because that's the biggest piece. Maybe with the 3 halves put together, we have a whole loaf. I don't know. My beeswax bread bags are not here, so I have nothing to store this dough in, or this bread in, that's not gonna make it go bad really quickly. I have it in some just cloth cotton bags, but I feel like it's still a little too much air. I don't know. They probably will go hard real quick. So I'm hoping that my beeswax bags get here sooner rather than later. I also didn't think to order the traditional paper sourdough bags, and I should have. Oh well. All right, so that's it for finished objects. Let's move on to whips. For whips, I am on the ribbing, the bottom hem, I should say, of my Metamorphic sweater by Andrea Mowry. So I tried it on, and she's at the perfect length, so I've started the rib. It's 3 inches of rib. I've done an inch. But I also was able to, what is my needles doing? I also was able to pop my needles into one of the sleeves, because the sleeves, I always go up a needle size. And Andrea actually mentions this in her pattern as a top tip. Usually in smaller circumferences, when you're knitting in the round, most knitters tend to knit tighter, and I know that I do. So whenever I get to sleeves, I go up 1 needle size. So my body was done on a 6, so I'm going to do my sleeves on a 7, and it will be a much more even look. So I can switch from ribbing to just stockinette knitting and give my hands the break they need. So all I have to do is attach my yarn to the sleeve, and I can start on the sleeve. But yeah, she's getting there. She's getting there. I wound up another ball of the Spin Cycle. So I am using Spin Cycle, their dyed in the wool base, which is their sport base, in the color Poppy. And then our new non-superwash woolen spun Corriedale base in the color Ash. Those are my 2, and this is DK. So those are my 2 yarns. And yeah, the sweater's coming along nicely. So good progress on that. I have not cast on for the second sock yet. I will probably this weekend, maybe. I don't know. Probably I maybe want to do it before this weekend. This weekend, so Saturday, the day you're seeing this, is our daughter's and her husband's baby shower that we are throwing. So I'll be busy all day Saturday with decorating and having the shower. It'll be a long day. And I don't think I'll have time to work on a sock. So we'll see. I'll cast it on before I see you next. Anyway, my next whip, guys, I tried so hard to get my January section of my Bibliophile done before this airs, which this airs on the last day of January. And I failed. I failed in my mission. I love the Rick Rack rib stitch that Rachel chose. I love the look of it. It's stunning. My hands and my arms do not. So I thought I could do 3 to 4 repeats of the 6-row pattern every day, and I cannot. I get 2 repeats done, which is 12 rows, and then I have to take a break. So I am 4 repeats shy of finishing the main color, and then I still have to do whatever we're supposed to do with the mini color, which I think is just a garter stitch band, but I didn't get it done. I don't think I moved this, so I think I was right around here the last time I showed it. So I have gotten a lot done, but not enough. I really tried. Now, I still have time technically for me, because for me it's only Thursday. So I still have time. I could get it done. If I do 2 repeats of the 6 rows tonight and 2 repeats of the 6 rows tomorrow night, I could have it done, because I think the garter stitch will fly, obviously. So technically for me, I could get it done. It just, it does aggravate my hands and my arms, and I still don't have my splint back. So that has really hindered my knitting progress. I did send them a message, the jeweler, to see what the status of that was. I'm still waiting to hear back. The only other whip that I have is I am spinning up the second skein of my Fiber Advent that Mr. Frogget dyed for me for December. So my first skein was this one. This was days 1 through 4. So I am currently spinning days 5 through 8. And I took a little video clip of me spinning that yesterday. So I'll pop that in here. Yeah, so that'll be 2 bobbins worth. I spun 5 through 8, half of each ball. Each ball was an ounce, so I'm spinning a ½ ounce of each day on one bobbin, and then the other on the other bobbin, and then I'm applying them together. And I'm spinning in order on the first bobbin, so 5, 6, 7, 8, and then on the second bobbin, I'm doing 8, 7, 6, 5, and then I'll apply them together. So that's my last whip. Yeah. So that will take us to shop news. And you guys, since you're here, and this color will be revealed for you all on Sunday, February 1st. But you're here. So I'm gonna show you the February color of the month. So just as a reminder, our book is Coffee Shop in an Alternate Universe. Here was our color inspo. Are you ready? Now, these have all sent. If you have not gotten your club package and you don't want to be spoiled, then look away, because I'm going to show it. So close your eyes. I won't tell you the colors so that I don't spoil it that way, but close your eyes and I'll tell you when it's safe to look. Here it is. This is the mini. I love it. I think it came out so good. All right, so that's on yarn. Now keep your eyes closed. Here's the fiber. Oh, it's so nice. This is my braid. So I'm going to spin this. Oh, it's so nice. There's the fiber. There's the yarn. Okay, you may look now. So that's our February club color. Stunning. I hope you're all excited. They have all shipped. There are a few. If you're watching this the day it comes out, on Saturday, January 31st, there are a few leftover skeins in the shop, but I'm not taking any more like pre-orders. So what's in the shop is what's currently dyed. The charms are all sold out. Again, this month, that's 2 months in a row. You guys are awesome. But there are a few skeins, like what I needed to fill my batches, fill my pans. There are a few of those left in the shop. You can grab those until the end of the day, Saturday, January 31st. I cut those off just before midnight. So that is club. Charms are sold out, blah, blah, blah. Valentine's Day is still in the shop, still ready for you to purchase. We've got Cupid's Kiss. Fun, bright, speckly. And we've got Love Letters, which is softer, much more romantic. So those are our Valentine's colorways. They are available in the shop now, and they will stay up through Valentine's Day. So February 14th, I will pull them down at the end of the day. I have decided I will pull them down at the end of the day on Valentine's Day, February 14th, because March Club goes live February 15th. So just for ease of keeping everything, I don't even know where I was going with that. Anyway, Valentine's Day colors will stay up till the end of the day on February 14th, and then they'll come down to make room for the March Club color. I will tell you, the March book is one that you all suggested. So many of you submitted this book as one of the books you wanted to see us do for 2026. And we have chosen this one for March, and it's a stunner. So I hope you're excited about that. There are still Lucky Frog mystery bags in the shop. They are trickling out. And like I said, they'll stay in the shop until we are back on the road, which isn't until the end of April. And if there's any left, they'll come out of the shop and we'll take them in the trailer with us. But they'll stay in the shop until they're gone or we get back out on the road. And that is it for shop news. I think that's it for shop news. Yeah. All right. So let's do some book chat, shall we? I haven't finished anything. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say. If you stick around for life news, you'll find out why. I am currently still reading The Wicked Sea. I am 65% through this. My problem is I'm reading this at night before bed, like 8:30, 9 o'clock. I turn off my phone. I turn off the computer and I stick my face in this book, but then it gets really, really good. And then we go to bed at 10:30. Last night we stayed up till 11 just so I could read some more. I feel like if I could sit down for a good 2 to 3 hours, I could bang this book out. It's so good. It's such a quick read. This is by Jordan Stephanie Gray. This is an advanced reader's copy. This is fantasy. I'm going to guess there's a romance at some point. It hasn't happened yet, but it's mermaids and sirens and love it. Love it, love it, love it. It's very fast paced. The action started literally on the first page. Jordan is a member in our Discord group. So if you're new here, we have a Discord group that is linked below. It is free. And we talk about all the things that we're making and reading, either with club or without. So she is part of that. We read her book, Bitten, in January this month. So if you're reading that, go pop in on the discussion. She's been checking in and commenting, but this is really, really, really good. I've already pre-ordered it. It's not out until April, I think. I've already pre-ordered it. It's just that good. So I really am looking forward to finishing this because it grabs me and I need to take more time to read it. The other book that I'm currently listening to is On Wings of Blood by Briar Bolin. This is the Bloodwing Academy Book 1. And I am 76% through on my audiobook. So I have this much to go, 24%. It has picked back up again. I know that I've been kind of waffling about, do I like it? Do I not? It's good. I don't agree that this is Fourth Wing, but better. I don't agree with that at all. I'm not sure why everyone says this is a dragon book. There hasn't been a single dragon in this book at 76%. They talk about them. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe we'll get to it. Maybe we won't. But it has picked up the pace for sure. And you know, I've got 24% left. I think it's probably, yeah, it's like a little over 100 pages left. So that's typically where like everything starts to happen. So we'll see. I think I only have like 4 hours left of listening time. And so I've just been trying to get through it. I've got it on when I'm dyeing. I've got it on when I'm twisting yarn, tagging yarn. I've got it on when I'm watering plants, all of that. So that's the only 2 books that I'm currently reading. I did go through the process of picking out my February TBR, and I took a couple of clips, took you along for that process. So I will insert those here, and then I'll meet you back here and I'll show you the books because there has been a change. So here's past me picking out the books for the TBR. Hello, happy Sunday. I thought I would just check in because we're in the middle of Winter Storm Fern. It's been snowing here all day. It's currently 1:45. And I'm sitting here with my reading journal, thinking about what I want to read for February. Brian is out helping our neighbor with his driveway. He just had a hip replacement. So Brian's helping him with his snowblower. Even though I don't know why. It's still really snowing. It's going to snow until tonight. I don't know why you would try. But anyway, let me, no, I don't know what I was going to do. Oh, I was going to see if I could find some help from the TBR jar. If you're new here, I introduced this little guy back in December during Vlogmas and said I wanted to use it more for 2026 because usually I just go around and pick books. But sometimes I don't know what I'm in the mood for. So I've got a bunch of prompts in there, and I've already decided that one of my reading goals was to finish more series than I start this year. When I was looking in my reading journal, and you guys, I haven't even written down how many series I've started, but I was looking at my list of 26 books I want to read in 2026, and the first half, a little more than half of that list are books in a series, second, third books that I'm just waiting on. So I know I can't finish series that aren't finished, but last year, which was first year of book club, our January book was A Dawn of Onyx. And I read it and I loved it. And then I didn't read the other 2. It is a completed trilogy and I do own it. So I'm gonna definitely read this book in February. That's done. I'm also going to read our book club book, which is over here in my office. Yep, he's still snow blowing. Coffee Shop in an Alternate Universe. So I'm going to read that for February. I'm I'm still in the middle of my audiobook, which is the Bloodwing Academy series, book 1, On Wings of Blood. And I mean, I'm not hating it. I was into it for a little bit. I don't know. I've heard mixed reviews that sometimes it feels a little slow. I'm gonna keep listening to it because it's easy to listen to while I'm in the studio, and I will definitely be in the studio tomorrow because I won't be going anywhere else. So I have to dye some Valentine's colors. I have to dye some more club. So it's good to just have on it. I will probably finish it because I would like to read book 2 in February. So hopefully I like it enough by the end to want to read book 2 because I have book 3 pre-ordered. So that's the 2 books so far that I want to read in February. So I thought I would give Mr. Frog a little shake. I really should have sat you on something. Yeah, I didn't think that through. I'm gonna do this. There we go. I am not dressed well today. Choose a book that is holiday themed. Okay, no. I have the power to veto that because it's not the holidays. So let's pick another one. We'll put that one back in. This is a tiny one. What does it say? Whoops. Let's see. A forced proximity fantasy. Oh my gosh, isn't that all of them? Huh. All right, let's pick another one and then we'll go look to see what I have. A book with a 1-word title. Well then. Forced proximity and a 1-word title. All right, give me a minute. Okay, I think I did it. So for a book with a 1-word title, they don't name a lot of fantasy books with 1 word, but I do have this one, Nightweaver. This is, I think, like fantasy with pirates. I think, and it's also young adult. Yes, you say pirate like it's an insult. So I picked that one. And then for forced proximity, I chose the Mist Thief because this is part of the Everseas series. I read the first 2, the Ever King and the Ever Queen, and this is the 3rd one, but follows a different main character. And I know it's forced proximity. I think they're actually forced to get married. So we'll do that one. So we've got Nightweaver, the Mist Thief, our February book, and A Promise of Peridot, which will keep me going in that series, will keep me going in this series. And yeah, this is a new one. I have book 2, but I don't have a lot of books with 1-word titles. So unless something changes, that's the stack, minus the 2 you can't see. All right, let's go peek on Mr. Poe. Okay, so there he is over at our neighbor's house, running his snowblower for him. It's quite snowy out. It's really fine now, but it's still coming down. Hopefully it's not sleeting. I haven't been outside. We have yet to see a snowplow. Such is life in the country. There won't be a snowplow until at least tonight, if not tomorrow. We did have a friend who was on his way to his mom's house, and for whatever reason, he drove down our road and plowed out our driveway, which he didn't need to do. Brian has a tractor with a plow, and then left again. So Brian won't have to move quite as much snow, but it has snowed quite a bit since he was here. So yeah, we're just hanging out. There's my view out the window. Just enjoying the snow. There's nowhere I need to be. Tucker's here, looking at me. I think he wants to play. My dogs have mixed reviews on the snow. Cooper loves it. He loves to run around and race around. But when it's light and fluffy like this, it burns his paws. Tucker hates it because it means he gets wet and cold. So, okay, I'm going to finish writing my February TBR. Yeah, just thought I'd take you along for a little Sunday afternoon shenanigans, helping me pick some books to read in February. I think 4 is okay. I'm not having a very great reading month for January. I have read 3. It's possible I'll finish my audiobook. I did not get to A War of Wyverns. I'm really sad about it. I don't know. We'll see. There's time, but I don't think I can read it in a week. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'll check in with you later. So, that was just a fun little snow day chitty chat. I was bored. Brian was outside helping our neighbor, like I said. He had just had a hip replacement, and Brian didn't want him pushing the snowblower, so he went over there to help him because he saw him out, and he ran over to yell at him and say, "Go back inside. I'll do this." So I just thought, since I was in the house by myself, that I would, I was working on my reading journal, so I thought, well, now's a good time to pick the books that I want to read in February. So, obviously, I'm going to read the club book, Coffee Shop in an Alternate Universe. Like I said, I'm going to read book 2 in the Sacred Stones trilogy, A Promise of Peridot. I really liked book 1, A Dawn of Onyx. I don't know why I didn't continue. I get very distracted by the next new book. That's all I can say. So definitely going to read that one. I'm sticking with The Mist Thief for book 3. This was one of the TBR jar picks. I think this was Forced Proximity. This is also like forced marriage, something like that. This is part of the Everseas series. The first 2 are their own like complete duet, the Ever King and the Ever Queen. Absolutely love those. If you haven't read those yet, highly recommend. So this is book 3, but I think this is like book 1 of the second duet. And I kind of like that because you can read the first 2. And I mean, yes, you definitely want to read this because it, you know, the end of that duology trickles into this, but I love that we've got some different characters, but we'll still get I think we still get glimpses of our characters from the first 2. So I'm sticking with The Mist Thief. The only thing I think I'm going to change is the prompt that said, choose a book with a 1-word title. I originally chose Nightweaver by R.M. Gray. And I do want to read this. This is like Sky Pirates, I think. Is it Sky Pirates? It's pirates of some sort. I thought I read that it was, no, it's regular pirates. Anyway, while I do want to read this, I also have book 2. I don't know how many books are going to be in this series. And I'm really trying not to start new series if I can avoid it. So after I filmed all of those clips and I was still looking at books, I remembered I have Immortal by Sue Lynn Tan, and this is a standalone. So I'm going to switch out Nightweaver for Immortal and make this my book with a one-word title. Yeah, I think that's, look at that. Look at those end papers. I think that's a better decision, and then I'm not starting a whole other series and then trying to figure out, look at that, when I can read book 2. So I'm going to switch that out. I got to change that in my reading journal, and I'm going to read that instead. And I'll save this for another time. Then our daughter and her husband for the shower have asked friends and family, instead of cards, like if they're bringing a gift, instead of buying a card, they would like books for the baby. They're going to build the baby a library, which we all know I love that. So we went to the bookstore Tuesday? Monday. I don't know. Earlier this week. Because I wanted to pick up a few books to take to the shower. We have already given them the gift. They're not opening gifts at the shower, so I don't feel the need to walk in with one. But I will take some books, and we went to pick up a few baby books, and of course, Tasha's going to look at books. So I picked up King of Ravens by Claire Sager. I also found Molly O'Neill. She was a book pick last year for August. We read Green Teeth, which was a cozy fantasy. She's got a new one, Nightshade and Oak. So I immediately picked this up because I did enjoy Green Teeth. And then I picked up the new published version of Metal Slinger by Rachel Schneider. I read this book last year. I read the indie version. This new, sorry, lost for words. This new version is stunning. Like, look at this. Stunning. If you have not read this book, all I'm going to say is probably, do I want to say it? Probably the most shocking, unexpected, and best plot twist I've ever read. There, I said it. You will not see it coming. I guarantee you that. I had to read the ending 3 times. I was just that shocked. So I am ecstatic for the second book. It's a duet. I think it's called Light Wielder. It's coming out this year. I already have it pre-ordered because I do not want to miss it. I have thought about the ending of this book since I finished it. It's that good. Is the writing a literary masterpiece? No. Is it a damn fun, good time? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a really good time. And I'm telling you, the plot twist, it was the plot twist heard around the world, quite honestly. So yeah, I picked that up. I wanted the new trophy. I do have the indie pub version. I will probably pop that in a little free library for someone else to enjoy. Yeah. So that's all my books. Yeah. So that'll take us to life news. In life news, all I will say is the day this comes out, we are enjoying our daughter and her husband's baby shower. The baby is due on my birthday, March 26th, and I'm very, very excited. I'm very, very excited. I really hope that he comes on time. I would love for my first grandbaby to share a birthday with me, that would just be amazing. Estate, the estate stuff continues to be complicated, frustrating, and slow. And I say slow with all caps, underlined, exclamation point. Nothing moves slower than getting an estate set up. I'm convinced. It is absolute madness. Absolute madness. Every time you think that you've made some progress, you haven't. So it is very stressful, and I'm not even the one who's dealing with most of it because Brian is. But I mean, obviously I live with him, so he brings it home. You know, we're talking about things, how to handle this, how to handle that. So it is stressful. It's stressful and frustrating and complicated. But also the best learning experience, because now we know what not to do. If things had just been done a little differently, we would not be dealing with 3/4 of this. So now we know what to do and not do in our will for our children. So I guess if anything good comes from this, we've learned a lot of things. I know I posted last week something about having a really terrible day. We got news we weren't expecting to hear. So Brian had a checkup with his back surgeon. And I've talked about Brian's back on here multiple times. He has had 2 spinal fusion surgeries. So he's got 2 cages on his spine, on his back. He has got degenerative disc disease. So his discs are just disintegrating, basically. And he's had 2 spinal fusions to shore things up and, you know, keep things in place and to eliminate pain. But he was still having a lot of pain even after 2 surgeries. So they did a special bone scan and a special, I guess, CAT scan. I don't know. He had 2 different tests, one with contrast, one without. And I went along to the follow-up, and his doctor does not beat around the bush. His doctor does not talk a lot of medical mumbo jumbo. He just gets right to the point. And he pulled up the scans and he said, do you see this area right here that's bright yellow? That means the second spinal fusion hasn't healed. It's been over 2 years. So the second one is at his tailbone, his S1 and L5. And then his first spinal fusion was L4, L5. So the second one hasn't healed. It's been over 2 years. His body has said, nah, we don't want this in here. This is not something that he can opt out of. He has to have another surgery. It wasn't what we wanted to hear because it's not optional and he cannot put it off for a super long time. He did tell the doctor about everything that he's going through right now with the estate, and he's the executor and he's got like lots to do, especially here at the beginning, appointments and all of that, and that he can't do anything right now. And the doctor said, that's absolutely fine. Let's revisit it at the tail end of the year. He said, we'll have to get updated scans and imaging, but I think that's reasonable to do later on this year when things have slowed down. But still. So the surgery to fix it would be removing all of the hardware that's in there. I don't know if they mean both cages or just the bottom one that hasn't healed, because the top one the first one healed. It's in there. So I don't know. Okay. I'm not sure where I left off. Anyway, I don't know if in the notes it said remove all hardware and install new. So I don't know if that means both cages or just the bottom one, but essentially they'll remove, at least the way I understood it was the bottom cage. They'll put in bigger screws, rods. I don't know what's actually in there. Anyway, they have to put in bigger ones. But the kicker is they then have to put in long anchors that will go from his spine into each side of his pelvis. And I was just like, damn, that sounds intense. And he said it's a much more painful recovery. It's not much different from the first two recoveries. Like he's not in the hospital any longer. He's supposed to come home, do all the same things, you know, be up, walking around, all of this, but it is more painful. Yay. So yeah, I know Brian's not looking forward to it. I am also not looking forward to it. Yeah, after his first spinal fusion, he was back in the hospital in less than a week for pulmonary embolism, multiple blood clots in his lungs. After his second spinal fusion, the night they sent him home, which I feel they sent him home too early, but he would not stop bugging them to leave. 3 a.m. I'm calling the ambulance because he got up to use the bathroom, called out for me that he didn't feel good. I jump out of bed, catch him just in time to get him to the floor so he can pass out. So I am not mentally ready to deal with another recovery from back surgery. So that's the life crap that's going on, right? Like I just can't right now. I just can't. The world's on fire and I just don't want to deal with any of this. I just want to hide because yeah, 2026, y'all, and we're not even out of the first month and it's felt like 10 years. So that's the life update. Yeah, just, you know, I'll be glad when the estate is done. I'll just be glad when we don't have to deal with all of this. And I know we have barely started, but I'll just be so happy when it's over. Yeah, so that's that. That's my boring life update. I hope that you're all well. What do I have here? Yeah, how have you all been since we chatted last? Hopefully okay. Or as okay as you can be. I am doing my best to avoid doom scrolling and only watching the news enough to stay informed, and then turning it off to protect my peace, to protect my mental health, because it's a lot. So I encourage you to pick up your book, pick up your knitting, put down your phones, give yourself a little peace, even if it's 10, 15 minutes. Just take a break. We are not designed to handle this much bad news on a daily basis. We're just not built for it. What are you currently working on? What project is bringing you joy? What are you reading? Did you read January's book, Bitten? Did you love it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Not every book's for every person. You can chat about it in the Discord too. And yeah, I think I'm going to love you and leave you here. I hope that you're all well. I hope that you're all doing the best that you can in these crazy times. Yeah, it's really hard to be a US citizen right now. really hard to be a human right now. So show some self-love, do some self-care. You deserve it. Please remember to take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Be kind. I will see you all right back here next week, same time, same place. And until then, happy making. Bye.